I am from Higher National Diploma in Engineering, Colombo. What is the essence of Buddha's philosophy as you understand it?
I believe she's asking what is the essence of Buddha's philosophy.
It's very simple. Like we already understand, we already know that Buddhism is not a religion. It is a philosophy, the way of life. The way of life, the way of living. That is why we have to practice to see the truth of this samsara. We have to understand it right. Otherwise, we keep on repeating ourselves into the religious thing. We are repeating ourselves like that, generation after generation. That is why our Buddhism is become one of the religion in the world who also practicing all these spiritual things, not just in Vietnam, not just Sri Lanka, Thailand, and everywhere now happen the same thing. So the way of life is how we live mindfully, how we live with kindness, compassion, and how we bring peace to ourselves and the others. Just imagine if you practice loving kindness, all those people surround you will love to be surround you. But if you don't practice loving kindness and you always have an anger mind, then the people around you, they will leave one after another. Right? Let's say in this crowd right here, when I talk, when I try to deliver my message, if I'm with the angry mind, would you stay here and listen? Of course not. It's because I'm making it fun, first. Secondly, I'm still mindful on my speech. And this is the truth that I want to share with loving kindness. That is why this energy brought you back together and keep you staying here. So, in the village where we live, if there's a one thief or one person who commit into a really bad karma, then of course all the people around always have to watch out from him, and then we scare as well. But if there's a person who lived peacefully and always brought peace and happiness to the people surrounding that village, of course we all always wanted to be surround him, that person. So practicing the way of living in this life for ourselves and for the others, that is the Buddha teachings. How to liberate all kind of sufferings. Once we are not suffer, we don't want the others to suffer as well. Because we understand the suffering, the root of it, and we are afraid of all those. So we understand that all the beings are also the same. That is why the Buddha born to teach us, to show us the way, show us the path. But again, he said, don't listen, don't believe in what I said yet. You have to take that into action. Practice it. Once you practice, you get the result. Now you choose to believe, to follow or not. And of course, the Buddha cannot drag you along that path. He already saw this path will lead you to happiness, and this path will lead you to suffering, samsara. Whichever path you want to walk on is totally up to you. He cannot take your hand and drag you along. Can never do that. So the way of life, the way of living in this world, we have to do something for ourselves first before you can help the others. But live peacefully and happily and practice the Buddha teaching to liberate all kind of sufferings.
Thank you very much, Venerable Thero. We've been talking about kindness and empathy. We've stressed on those two qualities so much, and I believe all of you here are young leaders. And of course, a leader should always be kind and empathetic. Those are two qualities that a leader must have. And of course, we have Mr. S.C. Veerasekara with us, who has been a great leader for many years, leading different groups in different companies. I'd like to ask you, how important is it for a leader to be kind and empathetic towards those around him?
Avasara Venerable Theros, Theruvan Saranai. I don't think there could be any leader in the absence of kindness, compassion. Because, why you call a leader? Because you always look out for the person to have some assistance, help, motivation, guidance, all these things that we expect from a leader. So why are we calling a leader? I mean, we have this Western teaching of, differentiating boss from a leader. So that leader, as per Buddhism, is someone who can look up and, have some empathy that he or she would help you to develop yourself. So that I'm sure that in the absence of kindness, compassion, there is no leadership. Thank you. Theruvan Saranai.
Thank you very much, Mr. Veerasekar. Venerable Thero, you have been leading a group of the Mahasangha throughout this peace walk, and you have also witnessed so many devotees from different countries also coming in to support this global mission. What is your thought on this, about how every leader in each country, whatever the position that you may hold, whatever the group of people that you may lead, how important is it to be kind and empathetic towards those following you?
Many people call me a leader of Walk for Peace. And I say, no, I'm not a leader. I'm just a person who walk in front to receive a lot of things. But I go eat after everyone. I go sleep after everyone, and everything after everyone. So nothing good about leadership. And so when we walk that far, and there's so many people ask, can we do it yearly in the United States? And now after that, the walk into the United States, and there's different countries also invited us to come to walk. They always say that we are shepherd too, not just United States. So can you come and walk in our country? I said, right now, I'm focusing starting the Dhammacharya project, the men's stupa this year, the next year. And so if we have the chance in the future, we will continue this walk for peace to support the people around the world if possible. But we are not committed in anything, because I don't know tomorrow. I don't want to promise and then I break my promise to you all. And so the message that I share, that even though we already ended the journey in Washington, D.C., by the White House area, but this Walk for Peace journey is just starting. It's not ends yet. Why? It's because we have to walk every day. And I told the crowd the story of mine. I say, I am one of the fire flyer. And I just fly here and there. Wherever I fly, I want all of these fire flyers to join me with one of my little bitty lights. Cannot shine the whole world, right? But imagine if all the people in this country, in this crowd right now, add that lights together, we can shine the whole country. And that is what I really want. And I'm hoping that it will happen that way. Because we suffer too much already. We want something better. And we deserve better. We don't have to be like this. We don't have to suffer like this when we've been born. To become a human, and we still suffer a lot. So wherever I go, I really hope that all the people who I meet along the road will join me in this mission to walk with me in spirit by practicing mindfulness every day. That by practicing the message that I share every time, today is going to be my peaceful day. That all you need to do is just write that statement down every morning when we wake up. Why it's so important when it's so simple is because when our mind is vacant, when our mind has nothing to do, it will automatically pick up all the trash to chew it over and over. What are the trash? Trash means all those defilements, suffering, unhappy, and everything. I call those are trash. Everything in here. So when the mind is empty, nothing else to do, it will pick up all those to think it over and over. That is when we are overwhelmed with thoughts, and that is when we suffer. So before the mind picking up all those trash, we don't let it. We don't let it. We give ourselves a chance to be better. By getting a piece of paper out, write out the statement, today is going to be my peaceful day. It's very simple. Write that down. When the mind with the hand is pairing it with each other, by writing that, you are practicing mindfulness. And then you read it over and over with your eyes. Now your eyes and your mind is pairing with each other, practicing mindfulness, concentration. Now, say it out loud. Today is going to be my peaceful day. I want you to repeat when I count to 3, loud and clear, okay? Today is going to be my peaceful day. 1, 2, and 3. I want to hear you louder. One more time. You imagine that energy, if all the people in this country and around the world repeat the same thing in every morning, what's going to happen? It's because we already has been spread hate, anger, delusion, greed, and all kind of hateful things to the universe. And what goes around will comes around. That is why we've been receiving so much disasters. Suffer. Now instead of continue throwing all those hatred and hateful things into the universe, we only throw loving kindness, compassion, and peace message to the universe. So that the universe will return back with full of peace, happiness, and everything. This world will become a better place to live. Peace will be flourished throughout this universe by practicing that simple message every day. Because when we get ourselves ready for the day with that message, it will remind us throughout the day and effectively.
Thank you very much, Venerable Thero.